Hello, good afternoon, and welcome everybody to another round of UR TikTalk, where we have 1 hour or 60 minutes of a wonderful session with our special speakers here today. Today, as you can see, we have three people. Hi, everybody. It's nice to see you. So, let me just introduce the speakers and also the topic here today. First of all, my name is Tara. And I'm from the Center of Continuing Education, and I'll be your moderator here today. Okay. So first of all, those of you who are with us, who will be spending the next 60 minutes with us, thank you so much for spending your time with us. What you can do is, go get a cup of coffee, go get a cup of tea, chill, hang out with us. And if you're watching from Facebook, if you're watching from YouTube, if you're watching from Instagram, please subscribe to our channel, subscribe to our pages, and also throughout the session, feel free to post comments, to ask questions. We'll definitely try to answer your questions as well as we could. And if you have any questions from specific speakers, please say who would you like to ask to answer the questions. So, in Unirazak today, all of us are quite excited because who we have here with us, let me introduce you, our first speaker. We have Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Yaziz. He is an Associate Professor with the Bank Rakyat School of Business and Entrepreneurship at Unirazak. And Dr. Yaziz, his first job was in Maybank, then he moved to Deutsche Bank and also Ambank. And he is also an associate with the Asian Institute of Chartered Bankers and is a published author. So his thoughts we are really grateful and excited to hear your thoughts today. And our second speaker, we have Ms. Nur Atika Rahmali. She's the director of the Program Design and Development Department and also a lecturer from the same faculty. And Ms. Atika has numerous years of teaching experience in Islamic finance, and she's also involved in the Islamic banking and finance curriculum development and enhancement. And our third speaker, we have Ms. Nurul Nabila. Ms. Nurul Nabila, she is actually our special guest today. She's an alumni, a Uniraza alumni, where she is a graduate of a BBA Islamic Finance, Banking and Finance. And currently, Ms. Nabila, she is a senior officer at the Department of Operations for the UOB Asset Management Malaysia Berhad. Right, so welcome to all our speakers. Now, before we start with our speakers, let me just do a little bit of housekeeping. I just want to check, can you all hear me, all the speakers?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Can.
Is there a feedback sound or anything? Is it bothering you anything before we continue?
No.
Because a little bit on my end, it's a little bit noisy, so I just want to see whether our technical team can do something about it. Okay, all right. So let's just continue. Maybe it's the construction sound that I'm hearing behind something. Okay, all right. So the title for today, it's a very interesting title. The World Bank's take on how Islamic finance can help during COVID-19. Okay, the World Bank's take on how Islamic finance can help during COVID-19. And this is really an interesting topic for today because if I'm sure all of you are aware, we already hit November and we are 2 months away to the year 2021. And all of us would agree that the year 2020 is the year of the pandemic. It has affected our economy and has affected global health especially. And notwithstanding, 2021 Malaysian budget will be tabled this Friday in Parliament, providing financial reinforcements to the economy. So as we fight this COVID-19, our governments and also world governments will be announcing stimulus packages to help aid and relieve businesses and the people. And for Malaysia, the last 6 months, we have the moratorium, which also has now extended for some people on a case by case. Yet we see that many businesses, many individuals are still struggling. So can anything else be done? is there an international standard, or is there an approach, or is there a solution to the problems that people are facing, whether it's as individuals, as business owners? And what can the World Bank and how can Islamic finance help, to solve the problems that we are facing due to this COVID-19 pandemic? So if we are ready today, we will start our question talking about the World Bank take on Islamic finance and how it can help during this COVID-19 pandemic. All right, so Dr. Yaziz, we will start with you first.
Thank you, Tara.
Yes.
Yes, basically across all the banking sectors for that matter, including the Islamic banking sector, the outbreak of the COVID-19 since late last year, and locally since last few weeks, we have seen resurgence of positive cases in the country. Those pose challenges to the banking sector because we can foresee that the expected demand for Islamic banking products and services is going to be affected. This is consequence to the expected slowdown of the economy in general, where we see that manufacturers are cutting down on their production, or they are facing cash flow constraints. Employees are losing their jobs, some are taking pay cuts. As such, they have less money in their pocket to spend in the economy. So people's livelihood, especially the marginalized and comparatively disadvantaged strata of the society, are the most affected. So solutions like social distancing policy are actually flattening the medical curve, but the possibility of stepping the recession curve is there due to the economic slowdown. So that could lead to financial and economic crisis moving forward. As you have stated rightfully, governments all over the world is taking a step to safeguard employment and livelihoods of the people to reduce the adverse impacts. So to fight against this pandemic, the governments have introduced a lot of stimulus package to channel the funds to the people so that they have funds to spend in the economy, and that will be creating multiplier effect. So in the local context, even the Malaysian government has rolled out the Sukuk Prihatin, for instance, to assist those who are affected by the COVID-19. But also the fund is meant for investors. So conversely, if you look from the context of conventional banking, however, the easiness of interest-based loans in the context of conventional banking may create a debt trap for households and businesses in the long run, which could have positive impact on the economic system. So that's our take on the difference between Islamic banking and conventional banking.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Professor. Thank you so much. That's a very interesting point of view. Maybe now we can go to Miss Atika. Miss Atika, so because you are also an expert in Islamic banking, but let's just look at it from this way. Whether it is conventional banking or Islamic banking, the impact and the wound is long term. For businesses, for the individual, and the financial recovery, to recover financially might take a lot of effort and a lot of different policy changes from different perspectives and different stakeholders. So how can Islamic finance help stimulate the economic our country during this time, these hard times? And are there any ways or possibilities for the Islamic finance to play a role in this development and this improvement of the economy? And also for the World Bank advocating Islamic finance approaches, is it an economic healer? Will it help the economy?
All right. Thank you, Tara, for very good questions. So this is just my point of view. Well, for me, there are opportunities for Islamic finance to help the economic during this pandemic, definitely. But what actually comes to my mind is on how Islamic finance can respond with perhaps Islamic financial institutions need to be socially responsible in empowering the community. To be honest, when it comes to the fundamental theory of Islamic finance, we often heard social finance services, where these particular services being offered by the bank without really focus on the profit maximization. So by using this particular tool, it can somehow give a significant potential to mobilize capital toward building social resilience, especially to assist the vulnerable target group that got affected from the pandemic. So Islamic banks, perhaps they can provide accessible funds by using wakaf, endowment, sadaqah donations, and as well zakat. So by doing that, I believe, inshallah, entrepreneur in the low income group could be able to generate more sustainable income from their business activity. So market would be resilient and potentially recovered from this pandemic. And gladfully, to date, I did some research. Islamic financial institutions in Malaysia have raised almost 40 million through wakaf and sedekah platform in Malaysia to fund project related to healthcare, education, and as well entrepreneurship. And for me, it's actually a good move taken by our Islamic banking institution here in Malaysia. Beside that, what Islamic finance can respond to Malaysia perhaps to be a logically adapt. So you see, since the pandemic happens, awareness of digital finance services has gradually increased. Last time I did my bill over the counter, and most of how did our payment over the counters, doing our transaction mostly over the counters, using cash. But now we are having a pandemic, no more. We are more favored into e-payments. Last time we shopping at mall, now we have we need to do some shoppings through an online platform, like for example Lazada, Shopee. So awareness of digital financial services somehow increase, but still across the globe, the digital divide remains a major roadblock, especially in the rural areas with the poor connectivity. So what Islamic finance actually can do and take opportunity from this, perhaps they can accelerate digital innovation through partnership with the fintech community, where banks can be a capital provider and fintech company perhaps can be an entrepreneur, and then through this partnership there would be a profit losses sharing together. So we cannot deny that during this pandemic, consumer businesses have increased their use of mobile and digital platforms. So with increasing awareness of e-commerce among Malaysia, business have shifted their platform on online market platform and utilization of e-payment. So I believe through the initiative partnership between banks and fintech community, it could probably can spur a more dynamic fintech ecosystem that can contribute to a thriving digital economy in Malaysia. So that is just my 2 cents.
Thank you so much, Ms. Atika. That was a very great thoughts and great opinion, and I'm glad to hear about the information that the packages and also fintech and also entrepreneurs and businesses are taking the opportunity in helping themselves and not plundering during these very very hard times. But also, I was just wondering, maybe either Dr. Yazis or Ms. Atika, both, maybe one of you could answer this question: is the World Bank advocating for Islamic finance approaches as an economic healer? Or is the World Bank more looking at conventional banking? So it could be either one of you could answer that question.
For both, I think.
Sorry?
Again, Tara, can you repeat again the question?
Oh, sorry, yeah. So my question is the World Bank advocating Islamic finance approaches as an economic healer? Or is the World Bank just more focused on conventional banking? Because like what you have mentioned just now, Islamic finance has got so many opportunities to actually help the community, also with the platforms that they combine with, things like that. So maybe just now, Prof. Yazis, you want to say something?
We see that from the previous global financial crisis in 2018, Islamic finance has proven to be resilient because the nature of its products and instruments which offer a balanced solution to channel the funds to end users, but not to increase the level of debt as interest is prohibited under Islamic finance. So because Islamic finance interest-free system that is claimed to be responsible, ethical, sustainable, and short preserving. So Islamic finance is more of a development-oriented financial intermediation model. It does not see that money as a commodity in and of itself to be sold or traded at a higher value than what it is printed at. So money is seen in Islamic finance merely as a tool to promote economic activity and freedom to exchange goods more efficiently. So Islamic finance banks abide by the rule of Sharia, which operate more than just to make profit, but it's seen as a form of participative justice, like pointed out by Ms. Atika, where banks follow the law of Sharia that is built around participative justice. They don't invest all their resources into earning more from less. Rather, everyone prosper. Everyone, the financier, the borrower, supposed to give and take under the same rules, under the principle of sharing risk and profit. That's why profit in Islamic finance is not determined or earned upfront, rather is calculated or concluded upon the conclusion of the transaction. So Islamic finance has wide range of products application that can positively impact every group of the sector, from the B20 end user to the policymakers. So the Islamic finance is social financing solution, for instance, like pointed out by Cik Atika just now, for instance, one product, Wakaf, Islamic microfinance for the SME who are affected the most because of this economic slowdown. So they can help them to ensure the ground level of productivity. Instruments like Sukuk Prihatin, which the government had introduced last month, had helped the government to raise funds, and these funds are meant for societal developments, even post-COVID era. So in short, what we are saying here, Islamic financial market is resilient during this financial crisis and is prosper.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Prof. Oh, I'm so sorry, dear audience. Miss Atika, I think, has a slight technical issue. But before we go on to the next question, I'm sure all of you can see at the banner, the screen at the bottom, we have our Uniraza Virtual Open Day, where we have live consultation from 30th October to 2020 until 6th November 2020. So please feel free to go online to our Uniraza website, www.uniraza.edu.my, to find out and apply more information. Maybe we can continue now with Miss Nabila. Hi, how are you doing, Miss Nabila?
Hi, Tara. I'm very good. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So, Miss Nabila, you graduated from Uniraza, right? With a BBA in Islamic banking. And currently, you are working in the industry. Like we just mentioned earlier, you are, let me see that again. You are a senior officer in the Department of Operations at UOB Asset Management. So, my question to you is this. Wait, hold on for a while. Give me a second. My question to you is this. How well has the program that you studied in Uniraza equipped you for moments like this? When I'm sure many people are calling you, asking for information, asking you, or how can your department help them? So how prepared are you? How has the program helped you?
Um, I've always I've it is actually I've always looked for something that when I want to do something, I want to do something that's knowledgeable, allow me to create more knowledge and to have more fun. So throughout this program, I realized that I've learned not only the finance theory, but I've also learning about the marketing part. I did international business, so we're not only focusing on the Islamic finance. So if you you can actually browse through your interests. If you want to do something related to finance or not, that's actually entirely up to you, because we have this subject which allows you to develop your interest. The thing I like about Islamic Banking and Finance program is that when you are not only learning in the classroom, so you also are exposed to varieties of activities by your lecturer. There was a speaker coming from the industry who come to the classroom and give you a talk. So this kind of talk really give me some insight on how the real industry works. And I think there was also where we had to do a lot of presentation. We have to do a YouTube video. So those kind of things actually make you as a student to be more confident. And I think have the confidence when you have the theories, the knowledge, you are more confident to enter into to the working industries. And Uni Raza program has allowed me to be a whole which I have the knowledge and I have the soft skill to actually further my career in this industry.
All right, thank you, Miss Nabila. Sounds like you had a very interesting and good time while you were studying in Uni Raza. So, do you enjoy your working life? Do you think that it is the pandemic that's happening to us right now, to the world right now, is changing the way you run your bank runs its systems? Has it changed a little bit in the last few months?
Um, I have to say that the pandemic is it's a bit scary because I was just graduating. I was looking for internship placement, and luckily I found out this place that is looking for an intern. So I have to say that I'm quite lucky in that manner. And furthermore, after I finished my internship, they absorbed me. So I have to say that I'm quite lucky. And this is the interesting part, is because the finance industry allow you to have the opportunity to work, because you how to say you this is a critical times where the finance work will never sleep. So you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about job opportunity even during the pandemic. I have to say that even during this COVID-19 times, you just have to keep a positive mindset lah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. This is a good advice for all our future graduates out there. Do not be afraid. If you're graduating this year, don't worry. Like Miss Nabila's experience, opportunities are still there. Let's go back to Dr. Yaziz. Dr. Yaziz, just now you shared with us a little bit about the principles and also about the practices of Islamic banking, right? And how it is really supporting the government and also the economy and the individuals, especially in this time, COVID-19, or also possibly in the post COVID-19. Do you think our economy will undergo drastic changes and be more resilient after this, or do you think that we are going to go a little bit downhill before it goes up back again?
Is everyone guess? But if we are to look at the principle of Islamic finance, it is for purpose of investing in tangible business with underlying Sharia rulings, avoiding of speculation and unethical predatory practices are all prohibited. So when this is the case by investing in tangible businesses, Islamic finance create growth in the economy while turning a profit from the initial investment. One potential product I can see timely is of cash waka-based money and DAO that offers a balanced solution to bridge the gap between the resourceful and the resource deficient units in the society. So looking from this perspective, we see that the Sukuk Prihatin last month, it has this feature whereby upon maturity, the holders can choose to donate or endow the principal amount. That similar to cash walkout, whereby it can be endowed and kept for supporting rebuilding the country long after the COVID-19 pandemic. So the definitions of wakaf, one of the Islamic finance product, therefore is necessary to be in tandem with different forms for an ever-changing economic landscape presently is COVID-19 pandemic. So time and sophistications of financial tool provided so long as it does not deviate from the teachings of Al-Quran and Sunnah. So cash wakaf with its features that is ever increasing investment to enable preserving the benefits is very timely, and its application way after the post-pandemic era to solve the discontent in the economy as the benefits are for the societal development perpetually.
Prof. Yazis, thank you so much. Before we go to our next question, I would just like to remind our viewers today that if you have any question, please feel free to drop your comments below wherever you're watching. Is it on YouTube, on Facebook, or Instagram? Please share with us, ask any one of our today, and we would more than happy try to answer your questions. All right. Now let's continue to Miss Atika. Miss Atika, from your experience and what you see that's happening today, how can the Islamic finance utilize its instruments to address business cash flow issues? Because a lot of people, a lot of businesses are having cash flow issues, and will this really affect the banking institutions?
All right. Thank you, Tara, for such an interesting question. As we all know, COVID-19 economic impact, not just locally but globally. It happening around the world. We can feel the impact on how it changed our life socially. Last times, we did our work back at the office. Now we have to work from home. Last time, we can have lunch together with our colleague. Now everything must be done virtually. If we want to communicate with our colleague as well, we have to, make it done virtually as well, through phone call, video call. So it's quite challenging for especially for those who have, big and they have to work from home. But not just actually household, business and financial institution as well are having a hard times too. And we are actually expected unemployment rates up subsequently, as it will affect significant loss of income, not just to corporation but as well to individuals. So in Malaysian context, the survivability of these vulnerable groups are very much important. So I believe that we heard, many times that government introduced a lot of initiative to, to protect the vulnerable group from this pandemic. For example, the government introduced emergency stimulus package. Remember back then, PKP unprehensile to B40, M40, and as well, government also ordered a bank to provide moratorium. Already end last September, but now banks have an extensions, moratoriums, and many more. So beside the support from the governments, NGO, Islamic finance as well can join the effort to, combat pandemics of COVID-19. So industry has been taught the potential to use social finance instruments that could be help impact of COVID-19 on costs and banks. So this social instrument could also be used directly to support the household by providing access to the affordable basic services such as education and as well healthcare. So when I say social finance instrument, it's actually a facility offered by Islamic financial institutions, is the burden of the society without focusing so on the maximizations. There is a few social, what we call it, finance instruments that can be offered. For example, Qadul Hassan's facility. So Qadul Hassan facility is actually a loan without interest, where the borrower is required to pay only the principal without any interest. So I believe that by if bank having this kind of facility, it could somehow provide a breathing, space to corporation, SME, and even household. Maybe perhaps until the environment stabilize. So how we can execute this plan? Perhaps central bank can open liquidity lines for financial institutions at no cost, so that financial institutions can provide loan without interest to their corporate, SME, and as well retail clients. So some of the public actually confused when it comes to the loan without interest, because they thought that every financing facility offered by bank is loan without interest. Actually, it's not. If you take a look to their website, home financing, high purchase financing, credit card, all of it are actually using the basis contracts of, sales contract, higher purchase contract. You are rarely see Qad Hassan contract being used by banks lah, because it's more to like a charitable punya facility. So I think during this pandemic, perhaps Islamic banks can take a look to this beautiful contract lah, so that it can somehow ease the burdens of the society. The next one, perhaps Wakaf. I think Dr. Yaziz very much what we call it expert when it comes to Wakaf. He already explained lengthy about it, and perhaps Islamic finance can zakat. It could somehow people in need lah, or that have loss of portions of their income. So you see, these social finance instruments are very much friendly to assist welfare of the society. Of course, bank, Islamic financial institution will not get much profit from this facility, but I believe they're going to gain such a high reputation. Such instruments did not, I believe that such instruments did not significantly reduce their profitability or increase their cost materially. So during this pandemic, Islamic bank need to go back to their core. It's not about profit maximization, it's about, protections of ummah.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. And that also answered the question, how will it affect banking institution? So you say that it might affect them, but it's not really about maximizing profit. It's also about, looking at the issues on hand and looking at how it can actually help the community and the vulnerable. And also, yes, we had heard very quite lengthy from Dr. Yaziz just now about Wakaf. So that's a very interesting take, because at this time and this age, people need to learn how to manage their assets. People need to, and businesses need to learn how to manage their cash flows, and also still make a profit, because they still need to survive. So if we have any questions from the audience today, not yet, no question yet. Then let's go to. Oh yes, we do have a question here. I cannot see the full question, but let me just read the question up to the point that I can see. Why does the Malaysian government not set up and finance a benevolent fund or create an economic endowment fund? Okay, so let me see whether I can read the next part of the question. Okay, the next part of the question will come later, but let me read the question again. Sorry, can I see the question one more time, please? Yes. Why does the Malaysian government not set up and finance a benevolent fund or create an economic endowment fund? So maybe either Prof. Yaziz or Ms. Atika, maybe you can answer this question.
Qadul Hassan, like Tika pointed out, is whereby the borrower just pay the principal. So of course, from the conventional perspective, it's just that doesn't come to their appreciation, because when the borrower only pay the principal. Now, if we look at the endowment with the cash wakaf, although specifically it's not called as cash wakaf, but the features similarity of that scheme carries that wakaf features. So it's meant for endowment for perpetual benefits way after the pandemic is over, not necessarily carrying the name of endowment fund, but it is sharing the similar feature nonetheless.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay. So there is a fund, but it's just in a different name and it may be in a different form, right? Yes. All right. Thank you so much. Miss Atika, if you have any comments about that, if not, we'll go to
Uh,
yes.
okay. Back to the questions. I believe that why the government didn't take an initiative yet to offer benevolent loan is because it's a bit costly actually, because they just simply offered borrowing without principal, but borrowing which the borrowers have to pay the principal but not no interest payment. So for in the perspective of financials, it's considered a bit costly for them lah, because when we want to give our services, of course we expected some profit from it, but uh, I believe that during this pandemic, this is the best time for the government to take a look and take actions, offering benevolent loan lah.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much to to both our speakers, and thank you so much to Mr. Eric Balan for the wonderful question again. So now let's go back to Miss Nabila. So Miss Nabila, you work in asset management, and I'm not sure how long you've started working and whether I don't know, it's many years already. I'm not sure, but can you share with us what you think business owners can learn from your experience, or what can maybe the individual learn from your experience with you studying from Uni Raza and about managing the assets during this difficult time. And also maybe you can also share with us how did you secure your job? You know, because just now you said something about you entered as an intern, right? Before entering full time, right? Yeah. So maybe Miss Nabila, you could share with us a little bit.
All right. So back to the first question. I would say that when it comes to investment, a lot of people actually looking for opportunity to invest even during this pandemic crisis. And I think that is very interesting because a lot of people nowadays, they are more actually literate, where they know that they need to find ways to have a more finance, to be more stable in terms of their financial, to ensure financial stability. And I think that's very interesting. When I enter this workplace, that I know that even though we are facing crisis, people are still aware to keep their money, to save their money, and this will help them in the future. And I really hope that youth nowadays, they are aware of that, that they actually can start saving, even though they might not want to enter into investment, the big investment, but they might want to go to something less risky, such as fixed deposit, so that this kind of awareness will definitely help you in the future. As for the next question, I've actually started working for only a month. I finished my internship a month ago, and ever since I straight away start working lah. Um, so yes, what was the second question? What was
No,
the
it's
second
okay.
part of the question?
Congratulations on securing that job during this very, very difficult and hard time, right? Yeah, so I'm sure that during your internship, yeah, good. During your internship, you really prove yourself to be a good member, for the team. That's why they hired you. Do you think that your experience as a student in Raza actually helped that to make you a good member, that they actually exalt you into be a member of the UOB assessment team, asset team?
Accepted. Definitely, definitely. The thing about so UOB Asset Management is a Singaporean company. So you have to understand that when you are working for a foreign company, you need to be fast. There is no such thing as lacking off. So And I noticed that that is one of the skills that I've adapted from learning in Uni Razak, because in Uni Razak a lot of our activities actually require you to be thinking independently and to be thinking out of the box, because we have a lot of activities that make you think creatively. And during classroom session, the lecturers would actually ask for your opinions, and we would have a lot of discussion. And this kind of discussion actually allows me to think out of the box, and I'm not only spoon feeding like in the classroom session. So actually, it's very helpful, because when you are working, once you started working one day, you're not getting spoon feed. You actually have to look for the information yourself, or else you're not gonna look capable. So the program in Uni Razak really allows me to develop myself in my during my 3 years in the university.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Nabila. Right. So if we have no questions from the listeners yet, let's go next question to Dr. Yazis, right? So Dr. Yazis, just now you shared with us, how the Islamic finance is really has lots of strong background to it, and also that it is something that would last for the long term, because it is looking towards development and also looking towards progress. It's not just about making a quick buck and turnover. It's not about that. So if Islamic banking is robust, what do you think are maybe certain policies that need to be mobilized, and how can we actually encourage businesses to take up Islamic finance, especially in this time and also during after the post pandemic?
The Islamic finance, so long as the principle of Sharia compliance, no speculation, no riba, comply with, it opens up many opportunities for banks to come out with features of the product and instruments. But having said that, for that matter, all conventional banks, at the very least, they have Islamic finance windows. So it is getting tougher because the growth rate of the Islamic finance has has reduced in comparison to the early part when it gone up very fast. But now it get more saturated because the conventional banks also have Islamic finance windows. So they are competing with banks who are wholly mainly Islamic finance.
All right, thank you so much, Prof. Yazid. Thank you so much. Very interesting. And maybe we can continue from that. We can look at, we can ask Miss Atika. Miss Atika, because of the knowledge about Islamic finance, the knowledge about what is it is not really out there for many people, unless they are studying a degree, or they're learning about it. So maybe you can share with us, and those who are watching, share with us a little bit more about the Bachelor of Business Administration in Islamic Finance at Uni Razak. And maybe you can tell us, what's this program? Why is it something necessary for people to learn, especially if they want to enter into the market and in this current time?
So actually, when it comes to Islamic finance, there are two programs offered by Uniraza related to Islamic finance, namely Bachelor Business Administration, Islamic Banking and Finance, which it focus to develop quality graduates to be a financial executive. And another one is Bachelor Business Administration, Islamic Financial Planning, where it focuses to develop quality graduates to be a financial planner. So when it comes to Islamic finance program in Malaysia, we have actually 50 course provider, and including Uniraza, we have almost 18 university offer Islamic finance degree. So just imagine how many graduates that a graduate of Islamic finance that we produce every year. But still, even though we produce many graduates, same issue raised, which is training and qualifications of the graduate often do not provide the level of specialization, the level of satisfactions that employers need. So this means that graduates are often inadequately equipped. So finding a job is often harder than expected for graduates, especially now during pandemic market a bit, slow down. So skills now is very important. It's not just GPA on your paper. Skill set is very important, and that is important means that employer focus on. So graduate need to pick up while study in university. That's why if you heard informations by Nabila, where they have to do a lot of class activity, do a lot of presentations. There is a reasons behind it, because we want to strengthen, their skill set. And it's actually a responsibility for university to provide more relevant skill set to offer a program, so that it could somehow give a higher possibility for them to get their first job in that same field. So Uniraza actually are very much well aware on this issue. So that's why what we did when we developed a program, we ensure that our program being reviewed by our industrial advisor. For BBA, Islamic Banking and Finance, and Islamic Financial Planning, we have our collaborations industry partner, IFIM, so that this industry advisor will take a look to our content, will take a look to our syllabus, cost saving outcome, to ensure that it meets the expectations from the industry. So that's why majority of our courses, if you take a look through the Unirazak website on Islamic Banking and Finance program, and as well Islamic Financial Planning, the majority of the specialization courses is actually a professional paper. For Islamic Banking and Finance, we have courses Islamic Trade Finance, Islamic Balance Banking, and often this all paper is actually being reviewed and I just want to highlight that our Islamic Financial Planning is a 2+1 program actually. When at the end of their degree, get degree from Uniraza, and at the same time get awarded finance manager from IFIM. So this will be an added value resume. We just finished the exercise with our collaborator. Inshallah, we will good news soon our Islamic Banking and Finance program to be part under this our industry partner. Stay tuned with the good news.
Okay. Thank you so much. That's good. Good news is always good times. All right. So, do we have a second question from our viewers out there? Can we have the question? Any question for us to see? Yes. All right. So the question also again for Mr. Eric, thank you so much for participating. Wouldn't it be financially useful if the Malaysian government issued a midterm catastrophic bonds to help finance the small and medium, I think must be enterprise, because I can't really see. Let me just try and finish the question there. Enterprises, yes. Okay, so let me repeat the question. Would it be financially useful if the Malaysian government issued a mid-term catastrophic bonds to help finance the small and medium enterprises? Maybe either Ms. Atika or Dr. Yazid, you could answer this question.
The how long this pandemic is going to be lasting is anyone's guess, but we have seen that the government from time to time increase the stimulus package. The quantum has been increased to meet the requirements moving, because you see there are changes even with the lockdown, open up certain sectors of the economy. The social sectors are still not allowed to open, but the one pertinent and important sectors are allowed to operate. Midterm solutions like coming out with a bonds would be helpful. That's why we also see that the central bank has over the past few months reduce the OPR, overnight rate, so that there is more liquidity injected into the economy, so that more spending, it will create a multiplying effect. There will be more people go out and buy, stimulate the economy. I see introduction of midterms, school or bonds will be helpful. The thing is that moving forward, how long, the question of how long we are going to be under this pandemic, hopefully it won't be that long, is anyone's guess.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yaziz. Yeah, it's definitely anyone's guess. We definitely cannot foresee in the very, very far future. But thankfully, with whatever instruments that we have, whatever policies and whatever stimulus packages that the government has provided for us, we can see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, right? Ms. Atika, do you have anything else to say? Would you like to comment on that question?
I totally agree with Dr. Yazid's explanations. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. We now let's go. We're almost reaching the end of the session. We have one or two more questions left. Let's go to Miss Nabila. Nabila. Oh, okay. Again, congratulations on securing a job now. I'm sure your family must be so proud of you, and your lecturers and your teachers at Uniraza are so proud of you also. And as a student or an ex-student of Uniraza, right? From your point of view, do you think what do you think would be good for our future students out there or our current students out there? How can you build a good career? I know you're just at the beginning of your career, of course, compared to Dr. Yaziz and Miss Atika, you are just at baby steps, right? But do you think Uniraza has helped you build up your career or whatever that you have started right now? And why should they take up the course of Islamic banking or finance in Uniraza?
Hmm. Definitely, Uniraza program has helped me to. One thing about me is that I enter into the program a bit blur. I'm not sure what I want to do in the future. And one thing for sure, what this program they allow me to find out what my interest is, and I come up with a degree that in the future I know where I'm leading, and I am at the beginning of starting a new exciting journey. But I have a vision now of where I want to go in 2 or 3 years time, and I think that's very exciting. It's a bit scary when you're at the beginning and you are unsure what to do. If a degree is going to help you in the future, but you have to understand that Islamic finance is booming in Malaysia, and Malaysia is the financial hub, the Islamic finance hub. So you don't have to worry about finding job opportunity, because the opportunity is out there. You just have to have a positive mindset about it. I would advise those who is planning to join the program to have the right mindset, to be positive, because this program really allows you to figure out what you want to do in the future. And I think that's very important, especially if you're like me and you unsure of what to do. So just have fun and have the right intention to gain knowledge.
All right, thank you so much. That is definitely a very positive point, a very positive look and how students in the future and students at the moment should behave and react. So we'll come to almost the last part of our session today. We have another 5 more minutes, and maybe this question can be answered by both Dr. Yaziz and also Miss Atika, right? There are two questions, right? So the first question, relating back to the topic about financial Islamic finance, is I want to hear your final take. What's your final take on the impact that COVID will leave us, and what will the financial institution do next after this to make sure that people are taken care of, that people are not so suffer, no, people and businesses will not suffer. And also the other question that we want to look at for our future and potential students is, because everything has gone online, how are the classes conducted in Uniraza? I'm sure that you, especially Prof. Yaziz, with your years of teaching experience, you have taken on a different direction of teaching, so share with us. Miss Atika, also share with us, how has teaching changed in these last few months or this year for 2020?
my take is that the people would become more appreciative that Islamic finance is more resilient and prosper. And in terms of the classes, we have conduct our classes because of this non-face-to-face contact. Classes are conducted using our Canvas platform as a learning tool. We have our UROCs. So with capability students to follow the classes from their home, interact with other students, with the lecturers, they can submit their tests, midterms, assignment. So we are adopting well in spite of these challenges with non-face-to-face context. And coming back to the first concept, again, is Islamic finance is resilient and is prosper and is more that can meet the challenges posed by the financial and economic crisis.
All right, thank you, Dr. Aziz. Miss Atika, maybe your final take on how the COVID will leave us and also how can we withstand this economic catastrophe?
Since we do not know how COVID-19 will end, because cannot really see that we can find a vaccine, soon. So definitely, I do believe that, market will continue to slow down to certain sectors, majority of the sectors actually. But for Islamic Bank, I think that they definitely going to survive and be resilient lah. The performance of course will be affected, especially when we have a moratorium thingy. Definitely it somehow limit their accessible liquidity, hence it somehow could affect their performance to get to generate profit like as compared to the previous year. So of course COVID-19 really somehow impact the performance of Islamic banks, including conventional too. But I think that the position for Islamic finance is going to be resilience lah. For the second question is pertaining on the online teachings, right?
Methods change.
So okay. It's really changed my life actually already to the online learning. I think like the first when I started my online learning in March, I think I kind of struggling lah, due to my poor internet connection. Last time, I using mobile. Now I have to subscribe, Unify. But Alhamdulillah, the lecturers, especially in Unirazak, we are improving ourselves, and somehow most of us are, I consider open-minded. We improvise our teaching and learning. Gladly, when I did my teachings during March semester, I received feedback from the student actually highlighted that they kind of like, having a learning from using on because good online they can actually repeatedly play in my record. So when they don't speak much or they want to understand my record teaching, and then they did by their own independently. So there's pros and cons when it comes to online learning lah. But one of the things that I'm not really favor online learning is because that I cannot see face to face my students. It's kind of like dissatisfaction lah. Kalau boleh I nak jumpa, meet them physically in class, but because of this pandemic, I have to meet them virtually. So there is a pros and cons lah when it comes to online learning.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, definitely, it has completely changed our lives. True. Even for me, when we first went into the first MCO, I was using hotspot on my phone, and it was terrible. So I've also subscribed to a home Wi-Fi now, and it's a lot better. Yeah, and I think that all of us at Uniraza and around the world, educators around the world, we have actually become a lot more tech savvy. Now we use maybe 2 laptops and 1 mobile phone and 1 tablet at the same time. The intake is on November 7th. Please go to our website www.uniraza.edu.my to find out more information. And also those of you who are looking for financial assistance and also looking for ways, how you can fund your education, the MARA TSET convertible loan is still available until 13th November. So this is something that you can look forward to. You can go to www.mara.gov.my, but you can also go to our website to find out more information about it. Our numbers are projected at the bottom. You can call us at 0327891599 to find out more information. Please don't forget to subscribe to My Uniraza on Facebook and Instagram, and also our YouTube channel. And as we have seen, our open day is also still available until the 6th of November. So I want everyone to stay tuned to our next session, which is tomorrow actually, around the same time, 4 to 6 p.m., our next UR TikTok session. And everybody, please stay safe, keep a distance, wear a mask whenever you go out, and please keep on washing your hands. Remember, 20 seconds, a happy birthday song. That's how long it takes to kill germs, right? So to our speakers, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. I think our listeners learned so much from all of you. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Tara.
Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you, Ms. Atika. Thank you, Ms. Nabila. Thank you.